Shalom, this is Amonute Tayac of Piscataway, Sophia Spiritualite, your friendly neighborhood Shuman, and we're here with a quick discussion. I'm actually at church waiting for it to start, and something interesting happened, and I wanted to comment on what I saw. So when I went to my little altar space this morning because I had a really bad headache. I have had a headache for like the last 3 days. Ever since Friday morning, I woke up with this headache. So I actually burned some black sage that I had, which you got to do with a charcoal. Anyway, so I sat at my altar. So when I sat down, I noticed that I have a representation of evil Jesus or Franklin on my altar, and I noticed that he was crushed. The thing, a bunch of stuff had fallen on top of him, and he was crushed. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is a great sign. This man is done. He's taken over." And I left, walked away from my altar, and I came back, and I realized, "Hey, where's my Mary statue?" And so my Mary statue had also fallen over. And I was like, okay, well, maybe somebody just bumped into it and knocked this stuff over. So, but then I thought about it. I was like, this could be representing something more too, because as you celebrate the falling of your enemies, some people, those enemies have mothers, right? Just like we have a mother and a father who happen to be the creator of all things. Everything on this planet has a creator and a creatrix. And so if you spend time laughing at and making fun of your enemies while they're falling, you're disrespecting their father, which may be deserved. But I don't think it's deserved to disrespect their mother. I don't know who their mother is. We've learned about all these different goddesses and gods and whatever, and it could be any one of them that has had a hand in creating these different species on this planet. And so it was a good thing I did make fun of Franklin, because I didn't. I just kind of said, let me just clean this up, man. you know I just want him to be quiet. I don't want him to be disrespected. And it's like, okay, today is the Roman Christians' Easter, right? And so this is the day that they're celebrating their Jesus. And I realize that we don't have the same Jesus, obviously, because the dates don't line up. So whatever they're celebrating, it's fine. I don't have to participate in it, and I don't have to disrespect it either. I just can say, hey, Roman Christians are over here doing what the Roman Christians do, so let them have at it. And that's, I feel like, a perspective that we can apply to a lot of different areas. Like people who don't acknowledge Jesus at all. Okay, whoever their creator and their creatrix is, that's the way that they made them. I don't have to be a part of that. And it's the same way for us. We believe in our father and our mother, and what they do and their titles and their positions and all of that could differ between us, honestly. However, it doesn't mean that when I see my brother or my sister engaging in behavior that is not is less than appropriate, right? That I need to make fun of them when they fall. I just feel like it's really important to say that, because we know that 2/3 of our people are going to be taken out, right? We fast for them every single year. Like, we already got a lot of prayers and fasting and stuff already in the pipeline for them, because we fast for these people every single year, right? That's the 22-day fast. So I'm not really worried about that, but we do want to maintain our position as we see these people start to fall off, because there's no way that everybody who's on top now is going to continue to be on top. It's not possible. And even those who repent and turn away from the stuff that they've been doing, it doesn't mean that they're automatically going to gain a better position, or they're going to it doesn't mean they've negated their karma, right? A lot of people are collecting a lot of karma right now, and this is basically what I'm trying to say. A lot of people are collecting karma right now. Now is not a time to be collecting karma. You can stay out of stuff by just being neutral about it, not having a opinion or a position, not getting into the traps that are trying to be set for us to lower our vibration. Even this headache that I have is clearly some kind of an attack, as a result of a few things that are going on, but I'm not letting it have that effect on me. I'm just saying, hey, I'm observing this headache. I'm like, okay, I've got a headache. I've taken some aspirin that didn't help. And I'm like, okay, this must be the eclipse energies hitting me early. And I just accept that. And I'm kind of like just moving on from it. And I'm not going to allow it to lower my vibration or lower my frequency. I just have to slow my pace of what I was planning on doing this weekend. To a lot less than what I had hoped, which, hey, it is what it is. What can I do? I'm not going to overstress myself with this headache. So, that's what we have to do. It's like some things are designed to just slow us down. And I just feel like, okay, this right here is designed to slow us down. Things are going slow because you want to make sure that as things progress, you don't come out of character. You don't go into a position that will gain you additional karma. Like, for example, Biden signed a executive order calling today, March the 31st, Transgender Awareness Day. Now, apparently, this day has always been Transgender Awareness Day for the Biden administration, right? And so the Roman Christians are freaking out, and they're really bringing themselves a lot more karma, because they say, well, this is Jesus' day, and he can't share it with anyone else. And it's kind of like, well, do you not know who Jesus is, even in the way you read the book? Like, I'm just trying to understand how you could come to this conclusion. But this is this thing. The Christians are, again, bringing more karma on themselves by reacting the way that they are. Just like, for example, that little girl, not little girl, I guess these were teenage girls, a little lunar girl and a black girl had gotten to a fight, teenagers, and apparently the lunar girl, she had actually just been suspended for school from fighting. So the lunar girl was the bully to this black girl. And I read somewhere the black girl could speak languages and was an honor roll student and all of that. But this lunar girl had kept picking on her until this fight broke out. And our girl, she lost it because it was too much. And so again, now here you have these, lunar people all, behind this little lunar girl saying she was the one who was beat up, this and that, but totally not even getting the rest of the story that she had been the one to instigate all these fights over time. And so you see this over and over and over again amongst our people, amongst other people. They're just bringing on all of this like karma to themselves. So what really triggered it, the first thing I saw this morning was that in DC, these two girls had beat up this, older man. I think they killed him actually. And the lunar people are out there, this is what's wrong with these, black girls, they just this and they just that. And it's like, y'all might not, and as soon as I read the situation, I was like, ooh, that was their abuser. He was abusing someone. You know what I mean? Because I'm familiar with DC and I know how it goes. And so I was like, ooh, I'm not going to get involved in that until the rest of the story comes out. And so I had just made a comment like, you guys might want to stop judging these cases as these hot takes are going to be the death of you. You can't make these judgments until you actually have some information. Doing it like this is a really, really bad idea. And so you see again, people are just jumping out there making assessments and they haven't really thought this whole thing through. And so I'm requesting of you that before you make a judgment call on a situation, that you do some more investigating, some more research, or, best case scenario, that you don't even make a judgment call until you have 100% proof of whatever the judgment is. There's many judgment calls that I've been trying to make, wanting to make for over a year, almost 2 years now. And I haven't, because I don't have enough information. First of all, some things I don't believe are my job to make a judgment call on, and so I just remain neutral. And for other people, yes, they should be making judgment calls. That's their thing. But I'm kind of like a healer. I don't really have to make a judgment call on something unless someone is specifically coming to me to be healed from that. And so if not, then, I don't need to make a judgment call. I just need to observe, collect information. And so if anyone asks me, I have a well thought out answer. But for me to just as a healer to try to be a judge, I'm not a judge. I'm a healer. We don't make the judgment calls. I know some people who are the judges. I let them make the judgment calls, and then I go with the calls that they, I'm not a judge. I'm a healer. I'm a healer. I'm not a judge. So I'm not going to be making these judgment calls. So if your job is judge, absolutely you make judgment calls. If your job is healer, maybe you don't make judgment calls. So for example, with my healer hat on, I listened to Beyonce's album. Now, I've said many, many critical things of Beyonce. Many, 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 many. Despite having been a huge Beyonce fan, I've made many critical statements of her. Many. Okay? Well, as I'm listening to this album, I'm thinking, first of all, it's a highly spiritual album, which I wasn't expecting. And second of all, I got the feeling that she always wanted to do country music. She didn't want to do R&B. She was kind of forced into R&B by, of course, her slime bag daddy and her attention-seeking mother. They kind of forced her into into R&B because they thought it would be more profitable. Meanwhile, I have a feeling this woman never wanted to do R&B. And if you listen to the album, which I do highly suggest, it's very spiritual, very spiritual. I think one of the first lines is her talking about how she had to heal the sins of her father. And I was like, oh, whoa. She didn't even give you a chance to get the feel. She going straight for the jugular. Yeah, I had to heal the sins of my father. God dang. I mean, yikes. So, I mean, which is good, it's good. It's just, I don't expect that from Beyonce. Let me just put it that way. I don't expect that from her. And so I've really got the feeling that she always wanted to do country. Really. Y'all done? Yeah. Okay, go ahead in there. Well, I'll be right there in a minute. No. All right, let me, yikes. Hold on. I've lost the plot. Now I've lost the plot. I've lost my headset. Okay, well, I have to go. I'm sorry. I didn't, I thought this would be fast. Anyway, the point of the matter, all the mother's children deserve respect. Don't you be on the wrong side of disrespecting one of the mother's children. And that's my suggestion and my hope that you all would consider that. So shalom, and we'll see you in the next video.